August 7th will now be open at 5:30 p.m. The meeting is now called to order. Roll call. Peter Gaffer is excused. Stephen Green. Here. Todd Conklin, I think he's on his way. Michael McPartland. Here. Frank Davis here. John Sky.
Present.
Ben Montley. Here. Leslie Johnson, Council Liaison, she's here. The staff would like to inform all applicants that the applications on this DRB agenda will require a building permit or a sign permit. Also, that the Design Review Board approval does not necessarily reflect the views and policies of the State Historic Preservation Office, which controls decisions impacting tax status of this designated contributing historic properties. Please review SHPO's policies if necessary. Contact them directly before making any exterior changes to your property. Call the public, anyone can speak on whatever they like as long as it's not on the agenda. Is any call the public? No? Something? Okay, then we'll move on to agenda item number 1. This is a review of work being done on 805 Tombstone Canyon. Is anybody here to address that?
I have a call to that issue.
Which issue?
805 Tombstone Canyon.
You can't speak to anything that's on the agenda for a call to the public, but you...
I thought it said you only sign up if it's not on the agenda.
No, but that's all right. You can, if you have a concern, you can speak to that.
Okay. I'll sit one chair in front. Okay, I don't know if Joe is here. He was going to take a look.
He's on vacation.
Okay, and the last time I looked, part of the roof on the front had been done, the porch had been removed, but nothing had been done in the back. Now, some of us may remember, I'm the property manager for the owner for 803 Tombstone Canyon, so I keep an eye on it.
Right.
And what I'm finding out is that a company named Maxon LLC from Lincoln, Nebraska, bought the tax lien for 2017 on the 20th of February, and the next one had been purchased on the 7th of June. I have some guy named Tom Beckus is involved with that. I have tried to connect with him through LinkedIn. I have left him phone message, I have left him emails, I have no answer. I understand that that has nothing to do with, you know, your proper function. However, what is the point in going through with all of this if nothing gets done? And I know this company has not seen it because the last one I dealt with was a half fallen down trailer, and the company was in Houston. They have no clue what these properties look like, but I thought it was important that you are aware that that property may not be owned by Mr. Tynes much longer.
Typically what happens is the owner has come here and given us an update.
That's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
That has been several months.
Right.
And Chair, just so you know, at last month's meeting,
Yeah.
we did direct Mr. Ward to have Mr. Tyne update us on the work that was supposed to be done, but had not been finishing the roof in the back. We also requested that the grounds be maintained per the neighborhood concerns that were raised before when we didn't approve the demolition request.
Okay. So that's good information for us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And we'll have to take that up with Joe
Okay.
when he's back.
Good deal, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Turner.
We'll move on to agenda item 2, 19-41, Bisbee Commercial Historic District, non-contributing structure, applicants Douglas and Ann Reniger. And yes, go ahead.
Afternoon, gentlemen. I'm Doug Reiniger. We live at 19 Clawson, which is right next to the Methodist Church. We've been here for almost 20 years. You might be familiar with it. The first thing we did was, well, totally renovated, but painted it the same colors as the Methodist Church. We're very conscious of the historical significance of this town. About 15 years ago, we bought the 45 Shearer, the house and the line of garages. We were renting it, and then we split the property to where there was the house and a little bit of parking, and in fact, 2 of the garage bays out of 8. There's an 8-bay system there. And so then we sold the house, and we have the garages. And we've rented to neighbors, most of them. I have 3 of the garages for various toys, motorcycle, little car here and there. But we were, up until this year, part-time, half-time. Here, we had a house in Wyoming. That house burned down, didn't matter why, but we are here full-time. And it really makes a difference. And so the application that we have before you now is to extend the garage. I presume that you've seen the plans, and particularly this 3D rendering. This really shows the property like what it would be. And if we haven't had it, please, because it really, I think, shows what we're proposing. It is, the whole idea, it started because, now that we're full-time, so you folks have seen this?
Yes.
The being here full-time now makes a difference because none of those garages, which are approaching 100 years old, I think, or whatever, they don't fit a modern car. So the car that we have, I mean, it got hit with the hail. It's just, I just feel that we have to have a proper garage where we can store the car. That being said, the design that we are proposing totally, I think, captures the continuation of the design of what's already there, the old rusty corrugated steel. What we propose is doing this L-shaped addition. There, first of all, for a garage door, we have found a company in Tucson, and I think it's Tucson garage overhead doors. They said they did some work here in Tucson. They specialize in rusty-looking doors. I went to their shop. Personally, they're really impressive because they really look old. The plan is to have the main overhead door of this rusty look, and then take some of the, Brian has done the drawings here and this 3D rendering, thanks Brian. We're going to lose a couple of the current corrugated doors, and we're going to repurpose those and put those on the side of the new rusty door. And so that will continue that look of the 5, which will not be touched, the 5 bays. Then we'll come around and we'll have the rusty door and the same doors that we're going to take from the other sliders that we've repurposed. And then rough sawn wood and a Prairie Mission Craftsman style windows on the 2 sides that face Clawson. The point of all this is we really have tried hard to make this a design that is compatible with the whole environment. And so I'm asking you to approve our application, and I'll answer any questions you may have.
Okay. Questions from
Sure.
the board?
Just one question on the 2 lights that you have on either side. Are you like set on those?
No, I don't like.
Or is that just for the render?
No, I know, that was in. This style is what I want. As a matter of fact, it's a quarry. There are 2 of these same style. So yeah, that just happened to be in the picture. I was talking to Brian, and we both agreed that those carriage lights don't work. This would be the lights.
Okay. Good. Other questions?
About the windows, based on the change that Mr. Hope just provided us, the 9 light, it looks like an extended 9 light style versus the kind of clerestory style you had before running up the top of those long
Are you
windows?
talking about the side windows that are
Yes.
on this
That
side?
would be facing your neighbor,
That
yes.
would be, well,
Just
nobody's
curious.
facing the neighbor. This is solid. Britt Hanson is behind us. This
Okay.
is solid in the back. These would be
This is
facing the
closet.
street.
This one
And
is-
there is a craftsman style. Brian, did you? Okay, we got it. It's, they call it craftsman. It's just like what, it's, I think that, maybe that's kind of like sideways, but is that, is that
It
it?
depends upon the
Brian's
manufacturer.
got it.
They will call them prairie or.
Prairie or
Let's
craftsman.
put these in.
They are just like what we have that are original 1905 from our house across the street. But yeah, this is
Mr.
what,
Reiner's preference is this style, which
Nine
is
light.
clearly shown
Like that.
on page 19 of your guide.
Right. Versus this original proposal.
correct. Yeah, we were going, we've been going back and forth to a lot of locations. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
And then this siding is gonna be the corrugated? Is that what that is?
Well, this, you mean siding here? What do you mean?
Yeah, here.
This-
Yeah, there
Oh,
you go.
here,
This-
yes, this will
okay.
be the same exact doors are corrugated that we took from the two doors that
Okay.
we're losing. So it
Oh,
will
great.
look exactly like
Right in.
what was going all the way down.
Great, thank you.
Further questions, comments? I'd say you've done an excellent job here with this application. It's everything we'd love to see. Plenty of detail. It's a nice letter you wrote.
Well, no, I really appreciate it. We take Stark District seriously.
Yeah, I can see that. It's very good. I'd entertain a motion if someone would like to make it. Dan?
A motion to approve 1941, as it is.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Okay, we're good to go. Agenda item number 3, application 19-43, Bisbee Residential Historic District, particular structure number 60, application Michael Graves. Somebody, are you Michael Graves?
No, I'm Tyler Bradbury over.
Okay, what are you going to represent?
And then, I gotta recuse myself from this one because I'm working on.
Oh, well, that's right, this is yours, John.
I actually thought
You gonna
John was going to
represent this guy?
represent, but I guess he didn't put that on the paperwork.
I can represent it, dude, it doesn't matter.
Well, we can, yes.
Yeah, we'll just jump in there.
Okay, that's fine. All right, John, why don't you go up and explain what you do?
All right, so essentially what happened here is the three-story the triplex from, I think it was built in somewhere around 1906, was falling down. We lifted the whole structure and took out the whole bottom floor. We lifted up 2.5 inches to correct it, and rebuilt the bottom floor, and now we are. Yes, sir.
Is that the musical part of the presentation?
You gonna dance today?
So we're just trying to, you know, our goal was to save the structure. We ended up having to buy it because the lady couldn't afford to fix it. We are asking to continue the stucco that's pre-existing on the front. It's the front right-hand corner. If you look at the picture, that was already pre-existing stucco, and then we want to continue that and wrap it around the base. It used to be stucco and then teardrop siding and then shiplap siding, so it's pretty confusing. So we're just trying to tie that all together and make that look whole. Did you pull up the windows?
No. it's-
We were working all day, so we weren't able to.
There's no windows in the packet? I sent a bunch of pictures to Joel that he was.
Joe did email photos of, that you sent of similar windows that you've done.
Yeah, there should have been some pictures of like some windows that we've done, another stucco house up on Quality Hill. Same windows, there's 2 gel window, hung windows, and then an awning window around the side.
Are those vinyl?
No, they're aluminum clad, what's that?
Okay.
Just so you know, they weren't included in the packet.
Yeah.
We were trying to, we actually came from the house, working on the house, and drove as fast as we could to make it to this meeting tonight. And then what I presented here in the packet is numerous houses that are stucco on the base and wood on the top that show that this is not something that's alien to the town.
That's your vernacular argument. That's a local vernacular, stucco on the bottom, wood on the top.
Yeah, so we've got, you know, numerous buildings like that. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We're thinking about doing board and batten. But I think the stucco is gonna look way better than the board and batten. The shiplap looked really out of place, so I think the board and, or not the shiplap, the teardrop siding looked really out of place. The building pre-exist. I could show you a picture of that as well.
John, you said, you mentioned an awning window. Where would that go?
Well, on the facing the street side, there was no window, and we added a window, and we want to put an awning window there.
And that's facing towards the street.
Yes, towards Youngblood
You
Hill.
can't put a double hung in there, because, you know, typically we don't.
It's right in front of the sink, so.
Okay,
the
that's why
cabinet's
there's a
there.
bathroom there.
We wanted to put a double hung,
Yeah.
but there's not enough space for it with the sink there.
It's like where the kitchen's at.
All right.
So it'll be above the kitchen sink, and there's enough space to
And where are we talking exactly? Are we talking on this side here?
Right
Yes.
where your finger was at.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Question, is this house contributing? You may have mentioned that.
Yeah,
I
it's,
missed it.
I think it is.
I couldn't imagine it not being.
It's listed as
Contributing number 60.
Are there any plans to put the front porch covering back that was removed?
Yeah, we want to make it bigger, but that'll be in a later application. 'Cause we've still got a lot of landscaping and dirt work to do before we're able to really come up with an idea.
Yeah, we're putting an underground panel. We're gonna run the electrical underground to get rid of the overhead wire. We're gonna do a lot of landscaping in the front of there, extend, make some more parking, etc. So we've got a lot to do before that, but I guess that's in
We
the
definitely
plan.
plan on putting something back on the front though.
And I think we're gonna do a separation somewhere there, right? We're gonna do some kind of crown or some kind of separation in between the stucco and
Where
the,
the shiplap ends, we're gonna come off there with just a 2x4 water cable.
Right.
That comes off to break that point.
That's a good idea.
And another thing for the stucco to go on there is it's gonna break up the house. If we continue with any kind of siding, it's just gonna make it look like this enormous tall thing with the stucco on there to make it look more like a foundation, which really it is the foundation of the home. So that's where we're at with that.
So this was a bit of an emergency, was it not, this project?
Yes, it was.
So I went through the project with Eliza before you guys bought it, and it was about to fall.
yeah, we
So
had.
I appreciate the urgency for which you guys are moving on, especially with monsoons coming. I just wanted to mention that.
Good.
Yeah, the situation was the engineer was calling us and saying that we needed to do something rapidly, because the building was shifting, there was concrete that had splayed out almost a foot underneath, and the rain was coming and coming, and so we she was like trying to wait out for someone to buy it, so we just ended up pulling together, buying it, and then it's funny because the Friday before the deal went through, the engineer called again and all the siding had split another, was that a couple of, like a half an inch, all the siding along the whole building had split like that. And he was like, you need to get on this, and then we dealt with the deal on Monday and got right on it for that Monday.
Did the engineer do any drawings or anything, or just?
Oh, yeah, I have all the engineer plans
so-
of the truck.
The building's stable now.
Yes,
Okay, so it's not an emergency anymore.
no,
Okay, so I guess what I'm getting to.
we hung
is-
sheetrock today.
Okay, what I'm getting to is, now that it's not such an emergency, would you be able to do drawings? Just like hand-done drawings, like, of what you plan on doing?
Well, we ended up with another emergency. I don't know if you're familiar with the two houses. There's a Craftsman-style house directly across the street from that house where the huge retaining wall had fallen out from under it. Well, now we've shifted over to that project, and we are in escrow to buy that problem, which we will be hopefully commencing on Monday. So, yeah, we're way overworked, and if we could not have to draw, like, we literally didn't want to buy this house at all. We just didn't want to fall into the street and onto the neighbor's house. So we bought it, and now we're dealing with the same thing, because the people couldn't afford to pay for the wall on the other street. So if we could just
What are the
wrap this
items?
up, it'd be great.
The concern I have, first of all,
Yes.
thank you for saving this building. When I saw it, saw where it was located, since you've stabilized it,
Yes.
it was just appreciative that you acted as quickly as you did, so that the exterior structure was preserved, because it was clear it was about to go fast. And having watched a retaining wall wash down this past Saturday, when I was having a nice little dinner at Contessa's, just seeing what the strength of that most recent hailstorm did,
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me that a building like this, if it hadn't been enacted on, would have seen a similar fate. I'm concerned that it's a contributing structure, and that there was, if it was, original siding at the ground level removed. I think aesthetically, doing the bottom in stucco, given what already exists with the other part of the lower part of the building, look consistent. Aesthetically, it wouldn't look out of place for buildings of that period, but I'm concerned that it not lose its contributing status. So if, just as one member of the commission say, if there is any approval, I would want it to see it be conditioned on us confirming that SHPO would not be removing the contributing structure status to this building if we approve stucco. That would be my concern.
Yes.
And given the factors involved with this building, imminent collapse, right, that if we were about to lose an entire structure, I would hope that they would be agreeable to what we would present as to our rationale, that we really want to see the building saved. And in other words, we're looking at the possibility of the building being gone altogether, and a large building in Old Bisbee, which is rare, a 3-story structure. But that's my concern about approving it without knowing what SHPO would say. So that is my 2 cents just to you, but also to fellow commission members.
So something I would like to bring up with you saying that is, the street side of that property, I'm pretty sure you guys have a picture where the wash comes down Youngblood. Another big factor for the stucco is that when we wrap back around that side of the building, it's gonna end up dying into, the hill goes up there, so it's gonna die into, we have footers poured there. But beyond that, it's dirt. And one of my biggest fears is that if we put any kind of wood siding on that section of the house, the dirt is eventually gonna ravel down, and then we're gonna have wood to earth contact once again. We've worked really hard to undo all the wood to earth contact. So, I just wanna kind of point that out as a good factor.
I was kind of assuming that, just so you know, looking at that side. So again, it makes sense from a safety standpoint, from securing the foundation standpoint, but it's listed as a contributing structure.
Is
and
it?
Yes.
It is. According to the application.
I mean, I don't even know, we've been too busy working on it to find this
So
stuff
you've
out.
got a contributing structure.
Well, that's good.
And I would hate to see it lose its designation if we're not clear with SHPO why we thought it was important to make
I
an
think
approval
all
of
it
it.
would take, John, is for you to contact SHPO and send a picture of it and ask them. And,
And in regards to the dirt thing, I mean, you've got wood under the stucco anyway, so termites love burrowing between stucco and wood, so, you know, I would consider cementing that whole area like a V or something.
Well, we're gonna do something there, is we're gonna put an air conditioning unit on that side, so it's got a small pad, but there still is the chance, and it's, you know, just another factor to make the stuff make sense.
I think the stucco makes sense a lot of ways, but I hear what Michael's saying. One, we don't want to lose contributing structures in town.
It's one of the last things we want.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think it's worth making a phone call. I think that SHPO may say, that's fine, you know, go ahead with the stucco.
I would submit a photograph from Google Earth, what it looked like before, or better yet, one from, you know, black and white photo or something.
And they should have this in their records anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Up there.
well, the stucco's it's gonna fit in a lot more than the teardrop siding.
But that's all.
I
true.
will, I'll do that, I'll give them a
If you
call,
would call
and then
them.
I'll get an email from them that I can send a current picture to.
So what are we looking at as far as that, like, what are you asking? That we
Well-
need to postpone this?
We have that special,
or-
we have that special session coming up, don't we? On,
Yeah, we have a
August 5th.
special session on.
When were you
15th.
planning to stucco this? You've got to put your windows in.
I mean, when are the windows supposed to be here?
The windows will be here, hopefully by the end of next week.
If you guys got.
Like I said, we're trying to wrap up this project because we're moving on to the next Bisbee disaster.
So you're gonna
across
get your
the
windows
street.
in first. That gives you time to call and
Yeah.
find out.
But, John, what I was saying is that if,
We can get in on special session.
So,
Well, the way we'll do this, this motion is contingent upon approval from SHPO. You get the approval, you can move ahead.
And I would imagine if
they'll
SHPO
have
knows
it.
that,
John,
if SHPO
we'll
is,
have it.
if SHPO is aware that we've made a conditional approval, I mean, for them, I would assume, I was can't speak for them, but having had them present to us before, I would assume that they would look kindly on
Oh,
what
sure.
our rationale was for making that approval, so that you
Okay.
have that as support, in addition to pictures and documentation of the degraded state of the building. That
I'm
was-
pretty sure if it fell down in the street, it definitely wouldn't be a contributing anything.
It'd be contributing to
It'd be
something, but
contributing
not.
to smashing the house next to it.
Yes, it'd be contributing to the
That's
blocking
about
brewery,
it.
but yes, but not to the.
so should we make a motion?
Yes. Do you wanna, Michael, you wanna make your?
And are we including the window proposal as well?
Yes. Yeah, unless you wanna review some of the windows?
I mean, I received the pictures that Joe sent to us, but he emailed to us, it's not in the packet. So he did provide us, through different media, what the window proposals were, which I was fine with. So I'm just being clear that that's what I'm including.
Yes.
So I would propose that we approve application, yes?
I don't mean to interrupt you, but if you
But
could
you
go
already-
ahead, and run through, because I wasn't here for the windows, so just so I know what I'm voting on.
Yeah.
The aluminum clad and wood clad windows are being proposed to replace the windows that have been removed.
Okay?
In addition, an awning window on the Youngblood Hill side
Mm-hmm.
is being proposed where the kitchen is,
Okay,
which would be located
sorry,
there.
I'm following. I'm doing the wiring in there, so I'm familiar with the structure, I just want to know what the vote's going to be on.
So the vote's going to be on the windows that are being proposed
Mhm.
and the facing treatment on the ground
And
level
then, okay,
at this point.
All right.
And they may come back to us in the future with other amendments to it.
that's fine,
So you're informed, as in
I'm
you're,
informed.
you know what I'm gonna.
I want to know what I'm voting on.
That's a good thing.
Mhm.
So I'm proposing, or making a motion that we approve application 19-43, contributing structure number 60, as presented regarding stuccoing of the ground level of the building, with the condition that SHPO approve that remaining a contributing structure, and that the windows as proposed, including the awning window to be put on the Youngblood hillside, also be approved as presented.
I second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Thank you,
passes.
guys.
Michael, do you have all the info for
I can give you a contact person. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll move on to agenda item number 4, application 19-44, Bisbee Residential Historic District, contributing structure number 318, 621 F Adams Avenue. Dan, you gonna represent this? Okay.
I know there's not much there.
All right, so just give us a,
It was probably side entrance, it was probably like a kitchen door there where a slider was once put in there and it was replaced by, what you see in the picture, which is a regular 32-inch door or 36-inch door with a clear window next to it. And a 5x8 landing, slash deck, covered corrugated metal. So 2 steps, and we're gonna run a sidewalk up to it from the parking area up there that they had blasted out years ago, and improve the access for someone who has limited mobility. And that's
okay, great. Any questions for Danny on this project?
The only question
Yes.
had to do with vinyl windows where you're doing a, I guess, double gang is it's called, where you have 2 double hung windows next to each other?
There's a door and a window, a picture window right next to it.
Okay.
That's all, not touching the windows.
So where I was going was it looked like in some of the pictures you had, 2 windows, 2 double hungs, a window and a window next to each other.
Okay?
And I think in the past when we've approved vinyl windows
I'm not doing
particularly.
any windows,
It's just a porch.
just a porch with the covering on it.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're on the right
Just,
application. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a porch.
I thought you were the next application. Sorry about that.
Get ready for the window question.
Yeah, exactly, where you are.
Is that correct? All right, no, it looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah, 'cause they could use a little shade on that side too.
Yeah.
Because the,
Are you, what kind of roofing are you?
Corrugated. corrugated,
Is it the galvanized or
they're
ungalvanized?
galvanized. They added, the front, they added a porch on the front, it's the whole length of the building with galvanized.
Okay, is the rest of the roof
It's all
galvanized?
galvanized.
Oh, cool.
I'd like to make a motion to approve application 1944 as submitted.
I second that.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye. Thanks all for your time.
I'm sorry, who seconded that?
Ben.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, agenda item number 5, application 19-46, Bisbee Residential Historic District, non-contributing structure, 14 Art Avenue. Who's going to speak to that? Anybody here represent this?
Our building inspector's out.
Is this,
Jack McFarland, property owner.
I don't know.
Representative says self. Not here.
I'll make a motion to table application 19-46 until someone's here to represent it.
Next meeting.
I second that motion.
All in favor of that?
Aye.
Motion passed. That's all the agenda items we have. Staff comments or future agenda item suggestions from anyone?
I guess I was actually gonna tell him that they have the ungalvanized metal that's really cheap. If we could, try to just let people know about it. It's at Tucson, Metal, Iron and Metal. And it's very inexpensive. It's 24, 26 gauge, very thick. It's a great product and it rusts and it looks great. I did a roof on it. So, that's it.
We had requested at our last meeting that the Public Works Director be invited to give a presentation to us. I didn't see it on this month's agenda, so I'm not sure if he's been contacted or not.
He is out of town right now, so that's probably why it's not on the agenda. He was scheduled to be out of town. He
Maybe
couldn't make
next-
it. So
That
it
would
probably
be,
will the-
Jesus?
Yes, it probably will be the next meeting that's in September.
The September meeting.
Yeah.
Nina, could you request that he at least be updated on what our prior agreement was with the city of Bisbee regarding public works projects within the historic district?
Okay.
Because it doesn't appear that he was made aware of that when he first began. I'm sure he had a full plate when he started. But we do have an agreement on record with the city of Bisbee that the public works director for any major project within Old Bisbee would present those to us before they began.
Okay.
So there was recently a lighting project at Grassy Park, which looks fine as far as I can see, from my humble opinion, but we weren't notified of it before it happened. It just happened. So, and I realized that was underway before he began,
Right.
but it just seems like there's a gap that's occurred in terms of due process, where the city's not informing DRB
Okay.
about what they plan to do in the historic district.
Okay. I'll make sure.
Those lights bug me out a little bit coming through in the morning. I think there's a car coming around the corner because it's so bright.
For the record, I'm very proud of those lights.
Talk to that
I
guy.
thought they looked
I
beautiful.
love them. Motion to adjourn?
Yeah, if there's nothing further to come before, I'll take motion.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Alright, I gotta go. Dude, building the wall.